there's a lot of sites out there that would prefer you never go anywhere. That you just stay in your nice, comfy little house and you just keep writing and you keep chatting if they have, we don't do chat, but if a lot of these other sites do, and you keep doing that stuff, and it's never go anywhere. And it's obvious reasons. We don't do that.
Imagine you're talking to someone for months and you're eager to meet this, you should be eager to meet this person, see him or her. It's very important. You don't text forever. You want to see a real person. So if she's avoiding it, there is something strange going on. Unless she has we're gonna talk to her. Unless she has completely serious, legitimate reason, which I cannot think of now. Yes, there are issues with power outages and stuff, but it doesn't stop life in Ukraine. It's manageable, so she should be able to do a call.
This isn't just on a computer screen. I mean, this is real. These are real women, guys. This is real life and real possibilities. I loved it when she laughed about that term keyboard Romeo. Oh, I've never heard that before. Keyboard Romeo. Yeah, she thought it was funny. Because why would you sit there and write forever when you could actually meet? She said she was willing to go and travel to Europe to meet. It's up to you guys to make it happen. I know it's a little daunting. I could sit here on my butt and talk about, oh, guys, you got to go do this. It's not that easy. It is. It takes a little bit of dedication, perseverance, blind faith a little bit, right? To go and do it, to go put yourself wherever it is, whether it's, the Ukraine, which is a little bit more since what's going on there with the situation with the war. You know how many guys have gotten their passport because of this? Never had their passport before. Maybe they're in their 50s, 60s, even 70s. All of a sudden they get a passport only because of this opportunity to go. It's amazing what women can motivate us men to do. You see that this is real. You see that it's there, and you have to be able to, at some point, either take advantage of it or decide it's not for you. It's one or the other. And again, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, right? It takes a little bit of planning. You have to get on a plane. You have to do it. But if you can picture yourself there, if you can see yourself sitting there at that table that I'm looking at right, well, yeah, you're looking at it, this table, and this venue with these women, if you can see yourself there, then you can start visualizing it, and then you can make it a reality. And when you get there, oh my gosh, that staff will treat you like family. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to concern yourself with is who it is you want to meet. This is an amazing opportunity. There's nothing out there like this. There is no other company that comes close to doing what we do in the way that we do it, especially for the price that we do it at. It just doesn't exist.
First of all, don't give money to someone whom you never met in person. Don't give somebody money on a first date or second date. Don't buy them iPhones, fur coats, no matter, it's big, popular guys are looking at you. It doesn't really matter. So just say, hey, no, I'm not comfortable. I might, if we start dating, seeing each other, then of course, I'll be happy to help you with different things. But at this time, I'm not comfortable, and that's it. So if money is the only thing she cares about, of course, she's just gonna disappear. You're never gonna hear from her again. How do you verify women are there for relationship, not money or visas? Well, about the same we can verify that the guy's there for serious intentions and not a sex tour. So, no, but seriously, and when the lady signs up for the service, we do talk to her. If she doesn't sign up in office, we do video verification call with her to make sure. And we ask her those questions, do you understand you're not gonna be paid for this? I mean, are you looking for a husband? Or, of course people can lie. We don't, when the woman comes to the office, we don't hook her up to the, lie detector and hoping she will tell us everything. With the period of time when she goes on dates and we get complaint about the lady that she shows some red flags, we're gonna investigate it and remove her from the site.
When you go over there, be yourself. Okay. And if you're not the type, if you don't like yourself, then work on yourself then. Okay. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't have a lot of confidence. You don't think, if you're going over there with a conception of these women, they're all scam artists. They don't want me. They're just out for money. Then you're not going to be successful. Plain and simple. This stuff, it works. I've done a whole lot of tours, and I have seen guys succeed. I've seen guys fail, and usually the reason why they fail is because of their attitude. You think attitude's a lot?
Attitudes a lot. That's right.
Yeah.
And if you are going for a tour and you are at social, you're coming for social, there will be, as I understand, more girls there than guys,
A
right?
lot more girls than
So,
guys.
my advice to you, if you're in a social, of course, you will talk not to one girl. You want to talk to that girl, to that girl. And for example, you're coming up to the group of girls, like 3, 4 of them. Yes, they're just talking to each other. Make compliment to all of them, like, girls, you are looking amazing tonight. If you are talking to girls like personally, also make a compliment to her, like pay attention, like her dress or accessories, that's work. It works.
It works.
It works, yeah.
So if the girl is standing there with two or three of her friends, you're telling them, don't ignore the friends.
No,
Make sure
no.
you address everybody in the group.
Yeah.
It's not like being in person. So you're not going to know for sure if you have that great mutual connection or not, but you can have a better idea than just writing letters, right? Going back and forth. And when you do the letters, as you know, they go through an interpreter/matchmaker. And so there's a third person always involved in there too. So it's like you, the woman, and a matchmaker all involved in these letters. And so it's much better when, at least, even when you're on the video call, there's going to be a matchmaker on there as well, /interpreter, especially if she doesn't speak English. And so you're still going to have that third party that's helping you. And that still can, make the relationship a little bit different where you really aren't totally sure what's there. And when you go to see her, if she doesn't speak so much great English, then you're still going to have a third party. So you got to be a little bit careful about that because, again, when there's 3 people, that third person can throw her 2 cents in there a little bit and can change the dynamic a little bit. That's why when you're in person, and if you do need an interpreter, I would highly suggest using multiple interpreters, not the same one all the time, especially like not her friend all the time, because you want someone who's going to be more objective and just doing the interpreting. And that way you really get to see what she's about instead of having like this third party involved in your relationship. Then what do you have? You have a threesome. No, that's not what we do. So yeah. Okay.
And as far as ladies traveling, meeting ladies, keep in mind they're not gonna travel that far for a blind date. I mean, I understand you're flying so far, but you're not meeting only one lady, right? So you're gonna be meeting several at least. And to them, to go to meet one man for a blind date and take time off work, if she has a child, find a babysitter, it's gonna be very, very difficult, and she has to take at least 3-4 days off work. Complicated. So if she's doing all that, she would want to make sure, first of all, you pay for her trip. So you pay for all expenses, hotel, her transportation, and also she would want to see you at least on the video. So maybe exchange few letters. When you both of you comfortable, move on to the video call after you see each other face to face. And she's like, yeah, well, okay, that's somebody I'll be interested in. And the same thing, you're interested in her, then you proceed with scheduling a meeting, and we can help you with that. Try different ways to do it. Maybe either exchange contact information or schedule introductions through us with for options. But honestly, in my opinion, it's still easiest thing to do is just go to Ukraine, meet a bunch of people instead of going this route and trying to bring ladies to Europe, because it's gonna be expensive by the time you're done paying for their travel expenses. And again, you don't know if it's really gonna click or not. You might pay for 3 nights at the hotel for her and just hate each other on the first date. I mean, you're still stuck with this lady for 3 more days, and you're paying for dinners and everything else because you're gentlemen. So that's gonna, to meet the 3 ladies in Poland, they're probably gonna, easily spend 2-3 thousand by the time, easily on those arrangements. But when you go Ukraine and meet dozens or hundreds of people, chances of finding the right person for you is much easier. Of course, we would not recommend to go to dangerous parts of Ukraine. Would not recommend to go to eastern border. Some guy, I get the mail, some guy is asking about going to Kharkov. Like, oh yeah, the war zone is 20 kilometers. The war zone is 12 miles away. It's so close. I would not recommend to go there. But other cities could be okay, especially maybe at least on the western border of Ukraine. Meet in Lviv if you're not comfortable going any further into Ukraine. How can you be sure I'm actually going to meet the women from this side? Well, as far as dating app scams, there is not much I can say. I mean, I have not, for the most of it, our clients don't use, the dating apps. So, and there are some do. So I have very little experience or feedback on that. There's nothing I can say. As far as meeting ladies from our side, you're gonna be meeting real people because all profiles are verified. When a lady signs up for the service, we get a copy of her passport or a government issued ID like driver's license. So we can, see her photo, we can verify her age and all other information, we store it on file. If she did not physically sign up at the office, but she did it online, then we do a video call with her to make sure that's somebody didn't send us some random passport. No, this is Irina. It definitely she looks like like that, like her passport. Yeah, that's Irina. So we do we talk to her. And also it helps staff too to do future matchmaking to get to know ladies at least a little bit. So when guys come to town, they can say, hey, yeah, this, I know this girl Irina, she might be a good match for you. How's consent handled differently in AFA socials versus swiping on dating apps? Do the women have to give their details to the man they meet? Well, they don't have to do anything. So the only things they have to do when they enter the socials, they have to assign the roster form. It's when we put all men's background form in front of her, so she quickly signs. So you've seen it, she read it. So this way, when she meets people at the social, she can exchange phone numbers with whomever she wants to exchange. If she doesn't like a guy, she doesn't have to give him phone number. So they're not obligated to do that. Video call is the next step from correspondence. It's still not as good as meeting. We recommend to do video call especially if you're traveling to meet one or two ladies. If you're flying all the way to Europe or Ukraine, spending 45 hours each way travel to meet this lady, you want to make sure it really worth your trip before you spend all this time and money. And if there is no connection in video, after video, a woman can say like, yeah, we talked, we had this 30-minute conversation, just don't feel like this is the right guy for me. Everybody can choose their mind. You can change your mind. You see her in the video and it's just like, yeah, she's just not what I thought. Well, whatever is different, but you might, or something she says during a call, whatever question you ask, you can find out something you didn't discuss in correspondence, and then you'll find out you don't want to have kids, but she wants to have kids. Some deal breakers that you can't work out. There is no point of traveling, meeting her. Then there's a point to move on.
The one thing you'll definitely get out of this is one hell of a vacation. I'll tell you that right now. But if you go over there, guys, keep, just have a good attitude, wouldn't you say, me? A good attitude, right?
Yes.
Everything
treat us like ladies.
Do you have anything last to say?
Oh, no, I'm just want to say thank you that you joined this show tonight, and thank you for questions. I like answering questions, so send more questions, invite me one more time. I'll be here.
And guys, if you have any other questions, for myself or for my wife, for Marina, I'll give you my email address. You can email me. You can email me on JL Greg, GREG, the number 4 at Gmail. Okay, so it's JLGreg4 at Gmail, and I'll get back to you guys. But yeah, thank you for watching, and thanks for all the congratulations. I'm a happy guy, and hope to see you next time. Yes.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.